So today we're going to take a look at the new looking TSM who were playing against IlluZion yesterday in the open qualifiers, and in particular I wanted to take a look at this game because yesterday, if you watched yesterday's video, you'll know that I talked about why, maybe more teams should pick Breach on Ascent, and here TSM are picking Breach on Ascent. They also went with Raze, which is quite an interesting pick for this map instead of Jet. Obviously they do have good synergies together, but let's see how it went for TSM, and we'll start here with round number 5. They are on the attacking side. And straight away, they use the Raze to get early B main control. So this is what happened. You can see they got the boom bot, which is going to, go across here and help clear that out. And also Corey's going to blast back across here just to create a bit of a different angle. This is something they often did when they wanted to go B, just to create that early presence in B main. Now, whilst that's happened, as you can see, what we've got this Omen flash down here that pushes the Killjoy off. The Raze is going to ult, and we're also going to get a Breach stun back towards the backside of the site as well, which you will see a bit better right now. So there you go. You just saw the Breach stun there. The flash comes in, the Killjoy is completely blind, and we get the first kill. Whilst they're doing that, they also get this Sova dart in onto the site to deal with anyone down here, because they know that that's a possibility as well to reveal them. But now we are going to get a bit of a procedural error in my point. Very small thing, but these small things kind of matter, and it's because it cost them this kill. Because what Subroza decided to do on Omen is he's gone for this smoke first towards the spawn. And he is going to do this smoke, but obviously on Omen, it's going to take a bit of time to get those smokes into the right position and whatnot. So he decides to go for the one here first. I do think that that is a bit of a mistake. The reason why I think that is because obviously you've had this Breach stun across here. So if anyone was there and they did get stunned, they're maybe less likely. The timing might not be as nice for them to be able to swing back if they were stunned. And whereas, you haven't really done anything to affect anyone in market, right? And as we saw there, the Jet is able to get that free kill and trade Corey out with the ult. And the thing is as well, you look at where these players are, they can trade. If, someone did swing around that corner and killed Corey, these people can trade that kill hopefully back as well. Whereas there's no way you can trade this. These players just don't have the vision. They aren't deep enough into the site to be able to trade anyone from market. So again, small mistake, right? But I think that these kind of things can reveal themselves. And so if I'm TSM next time, I am going to probably smoke this first, then smoke that. Very small, but it did cost them that kill. And maybe against a better team, that cost them the round and things like that. So anyway, we end up in this situation, and obviously the rotates come in. We get this nice little flash here on this bottom side that does catch Dens, but he's able to get the first kill, but it does get traded out. So we're in a 3v3. Winnable for either side, but Rossi is about to go pretty big for TSM because he's able to find that kill on the Jet. And what I love about what Rossi does here is, they're in this situation. It's taken a bit of time to get onto the site from when they first started this execute. So, they're probably pretty aware that these rotates are pretty close, if not already here. And as we can see, they are already here. But what Rossi's going to do is they're not going to plant the spike. He's actually about to go and drone these players as well. And I think that that's a really good decision because a lot of people would plant the spike in this situation. But the thing is, if you do plant the spike, then you're just in a 2v2. All of a sudden in this area of the map, you have just a 2v2. And Subroza probably doesn't feel comfortable in leaving because then it's a 2v1 for this chamber if they do decide to come out and swing. So, you want to be fighting as a team, right? It's a situation where you want to do everything as a team. You don't quite have the time to plant yet, so wait and fight with your team and make it a 3v2. And you'll see that they are able to catch the timing there for 7, but then out comes the drone, and now, it's a very easily winnable round, and you can plant the spike after you win the round. And now let's come to round 7, and again, we're going to see how just small mistakes can really cost you in Valorant sometimes, because this is one of those rounds. Again, we start with this early boombot flash, the thing that we all saw before, right, where they're gonna again get this early B main control. You can see they've already kind of got it, and now we're about to get just an absolute wave of ults. So you just might have seen the Sova is ulting from back here. We've also, as you can see, got a Breach ult onto the site as well. So Subroza is about to actually TP in here with the Omen ult into his own smoke, and they're gonna start executing towards this site. So a ton of ults committed, and they're really going for this in a way. And Rossi is actually able to find a kill. Now there is a problem though. And that is what GMD has just done, because I don't know why he quite did this. Clearly a bit of a communication breakdown. But after committing his Rolling Thunder, he stunned across like this. And I'm pretty sure it must have caught both Subroza and Corey here on the Raze. And obviously that is less than ideal, so a bit of a miscommunication, because you can see Corey is stunned here, and I had to go back and check that he didn't get caught in the ult. He definitely didn't get caught in the ult, so it had to be from the fault line, because there's no other character in this game that stuns like that. So it was definitely from their own side breach. But then he's able to live through it, and they send in this nade, and they're going to send in shock darts, and it looks horrific, right? But the thing is, this aftershock that the breach just put down is going to cost them. And this is what I mean about just the finest of margins, because this aftershock goes like this, but really it just needed to go like this. You know, very, very, very fine margins for this aftershock, but it is going to cost them this round, because you see the shock darts coming as well, and they're able to find the first, but Dent is able to live in that corner. And that's really, really big. And then GMD dies there onto the site as the other players approach, and now Dent is able to get the other kill as well, because he wasn't moved by that aftershock. So we end up in this 2v1 where 7 was on the lurk. This is going to end in a bit of a weird way as well, because as we run this forward a bit quicker, he is going to be able to pick up the spike, and then once he does that, he's able to TP away as well. Now, I think this is quite a cool idea, because obviously he's TP'd away, so you are expecting that he's just going to run to A, right? He has the time to do it. But actually, no, he tries to sneak back and get a quick kill on someone. He looks for it, but unfortunately the Sova is aware that that might be the case and gets the final kill. And now let's come to round number 10. And in this round, we're going to focus on Subroza and the controller to start with, because I do think he makes a mistake here, and it's a mistake I think I've seen some controller players make, and I think it's one that he can make multiple times, just because the way his mindset is and how he likes to play the game. He's quite an aggressive player, which isn't a problem in and of itself, but as we saw just there, what we've seen so far in this round is a little drone from mid up here, come around here, didn't see anyone, so Subroza has pushed up with it. Absolutely fine, right? But I think, you know, some of the more experienced controller players, or some of the best controller players in the world, what they would do if they were in this situation is they would be, you know, just hiding in one of these corners, because when you're a controller player, you want to be generally the last alive, or certainly near the last alive, because your team is going to need those smokes for an execute later on down the line, right? And I do think that there isn't necessarily a problem with being aggressive. That's not a problem in and of itself, but it doesn't necessarily suit the role, I think. And Subroza, he likes to play very aggressively all the time. So I'm just like, if I was a TSM coach, I'm not sure I personally would like Subroza playing this role, because he is a very good player, but he plays very aggressively, because here he's in the situation where he's completely on his own, right? But look, he's just spamming into the smoke. He's spamming into the smoke as if he's got like 2 teammates here ready to cover for him, but he doesn't. He's completely alone, right? His team are doing literally nothing around the map. They're just holding for pushes, essentially, as the chamber explores a bit as well. And, you know, it costs them here, because, you know, he's spamming into the smoke and he's not aware at all of what's going on, and he dies, right? And I do think that is something that can cost TSM sometimes, is that he likes to play very aggressive. We then get these trades into B main, but, you know, you can't always be that aggressive on that control role, because you're going to be needed later on. So as we run the rest of this round forward, we're going to see a couple cool things, actually. We're going to see some awareness by Corey that is really, really strong, but then ultimately I'm pretty sure IlluZion are going to be able to win this round. So we got a missed shot by the Jet there, but this from Corey, the knowledge, they have no idea anyone's there, but he nades that spot into white, which is a very common position when, you know, a round has been like this. You've started B, you're coming back to A. It's a very common thing. So he nades it, very well done, but ultimately he ends up losing his life there at the end, and IlluZion win the round. And now let's come to round number 12. And this one I'm pretty sure wanted to be a fast A play, but they get flashed by the Omen. The KO then ults as well, and so they decide no way we can go in there for the side of TSM. And we get this push up by the Jet as well. Little thing here again, Soul didn't buy a gun despite it being last round. He could have bought a Bulldog or a Spectre or whatever. You know, little things. And I think that this round is going to show where I think some of the improvement in Valorant will come in years to come. with kind of, you know, understanding some of the little things. Because what we're about to see is the execute in onto site. It's about to happen now. So what we get here from TSM is we just saw the breach flash come in here. We're going to get an Omen flash down here, as you can see, and the Raze is about to ult in onto the site as well with the blast packs, and they are going to take control of the site. So let's watch that as the Raze comes in, gets the ult off, and away we go. Now, one thing we have to keep an eye on though is the breach here, because the breach in that corner right after that is going to ult. But I just want you to take note of this red line here, because anyone who plays a lot of breach will know that there is actually a gap from where the ult starts, so that you don't ult your own teammates as breach, and you know, don't stun them up. And so you can see he pushed up right into the corner here, GMD, and what that meant is that this breach ult, the gap, meant that it didn't catch either the KO or the Jet. It might not have caught the Jet, but it definitely would have caught the KO if he just takes a step back, and you know, there isn't really much danger of him ulting his teammates maybe too much. And the thing is, this is kind of a bit of a weird ult anyway, because you know, your teammates aren't really gonna ever push through your own smoke into this, so maybe a bit of a weird ult to do overall. You know, you could save it for post plant, and it can easily win you a post plant, a breach ult. So a bit of a weird choice perhaps to ult. And then also one thing that I have to talk about is he's also going to use the aftershock. You can see down here at the bottom that he just uses aftershock in there as well. And that will come to cost them later down the line. But what happens is actually the side of IlluZion, they decide to go pushing through the smoke. The KO flashes, you know, gets a kill, and it's all looking, you know, fine at this point. But the thing is, again, it's little things, right? Because IlluZion have a Killjoy lockdown. So, you know, would it be a smarter play instead to just, you know, wait for that Killjoy lockdown? Especially because the breach has used the aftershock. And this, again, it's just from both sides. It's like little things, right? These are kind of the little things that they have to work on. Because what ends up happening is Rossi is able to get those two players who tried to retake a bit quicker. And so, you know, not great for IlluZion. Could they have waited? Perhaps. Because then they do send in this Killjoy lockdown. And again, you know, TSM, maybe the awareness not quite there, like, oh, save your aftershock for the Killjoy lockdown, it's the last round, you know that they are going to use it even if they have the slightest chance. You know, save the aftershock, it would destroy it straight away, it would be, you know, a non-factor in this round. And so yeah, this cost them a bit. But then as we run this forward, GMD, again, he's going to play a bit passive. And again, it's that communication, because at this point it seems pretty clear that these two TSM players, you know, they're kind of a bit stuck. They still have 8 seconds, so they could run out here if they wanted to, but they're going to decide, no, we're going to get aggressive towards it. We want to destroy it. Let's try and run it down. But GMD has the exact opposite of idea of, I'm just going to wait, right? And at this moment in time, you know, he still has the choice to come up here and you know, help them run in and help them trade and whatnot, but he decides not to, and he decides just to wait out there whilst his teammates try and destroy it. As you can see there, the Killjoy gets one. You're still pushing here with the Sova, and that ends up getting traded as well, and so GMD just sits on the outside the entire time. Now the thing is, because he actually made that choice, it is a bit of a weird one for him to be in this spot, because you would have thought that he would have pushed with his teammates, and so that ends up kind of winning them the round in a weird way. But you know, I wouldn't say that this was good. It was just kind of a fortunate series of events, but GMD does end up winning the round. And now let's come to the defensive side for TSM, and we'll come to round 17. And this one's quite an interesting one, because you can see IlluZion here, they're on a save. But so TSM are going to do something that you often do not see against a save, but I kind of like it because it's so unexpected, because they're going to get aggressive with it, right? They're going to push 4 down mid here. They've got 2 on each side of mid. They've got an operator with chamber here holding this, and the idea is to get the Omen and breach like in this position to, you know, kill that, so you have a nice little crossfire coming off. Nice little idea overall. That wasn't meant to happen, but okay. What's going to happen is we're going to get the smoke, but they wisely wait for the boombot to see if anything goes off there, you know, anything close. It doesn't, so they feel safe in pushing through the smoke. And now, you know, I believe in Phantom supremacy, and Subroza is going to prove that, because he's able to get the first kill here. You can see they have this nice little crossfire, you know, they're protected here. And Subroza just going to keep spamming, I think, and he's just going to keep finding kills. Now, GMD does make a weird choice there, where he decides to, you know, push past the crossfire. He actually died before the smoke came up from the Omen here. So a bit of a weird choice by GMD, but it's fine because they are still against a save overall, and so we just are going to get those final couple kills as well as they drone through B main, see if there's anything there as well. They still have that crossfire set up with the chamber push through the smoke, and there you go, the final kill comes in. And then finally, let's come into the last round overall of the game. And it seems like TSM, you know, they kind of wised up to what I was talking about before with the little things and understanding what your opponent is likely to do. Because, of course, on the side of IlluZion, they do have quite a few ults, particularly the Killjoy lockdown is obviously going to be a big factor. And obviously, because it could be the last round in the game, you're going to commit as many of those ults as you can to make sure that the game tries to go on for as long as it can. And so knowing that, you know, you think, well, where are they likely to put down a Killjoy ult? Well, the most common spot, of course, is this. So what they prepare for is, well, if they do that, we're just going to breach ult and push out and kill them. And so a nice idea overall, and I quite like that idea from the side of TSM, and you can see that's exactly what happens. It actually starts off with this aggressive push from 7, and he's able to get the first kill and TP away. And then as soon as that Killjoy lockdown comes out it comes, in they go, and they are going to be able to, you know, just manage to kill. Now, interesting, again, GMD, interesting use of this aftershock. Probably could have just aftershocked the actual Killjoy lockdown, because you're going to see, actually gets a bit close here because he can't quite spam it through there. But they just decide, I don't know if they had somewhere to be or whatever, because they just wanted to end this game. And with all the breach ult and the stuns and whatnot, they're able to just push on them and win the round. And so TSM advance. I do still think, you know, there are some things to work on for them. I think, you know, we still saw some little mistakes coming out from TSM, but I think, you know, there is potential here, and I think, you know, if they can iron out those mistakes, maybe, who knows, you know, they could go on some kind of big run.